Well, greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to tonight's night-ending bonus upload. Before we jump into it, a couple links. As many of you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, and channel membership is in the description below, merch displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman, Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Netolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support the channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. Doesn't cost a cent. Click the like button, takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads I put out daily, click that bell icon, and folks, please leave a comment. Why? Well, because these things really do help the channel to continue to grow and go, and yes, they definitely matter. Now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's jump in to tonight's night-ending bonus upload. Shall we? Let's get into the first encounter. It was August of 2016. A close friend of mine had bought 15 acres of woods in central Maine, and they had invited me to live on the property in exchange for helping them grow cannabis. I had lived there all summer, and my bedroom was an old dead school bus that I had converted into a cute little home. We had 7 people in total on the land, and everyone was hanging out in the community house, a double-wide trailer. They were watching movies and playing board games. It was only about 9 p.m., but I was tired from work, so I said good night and began to walk to my bus. It was very dark. The moon was not up yet. I was barefoot with no flashlight, but it wasn't a far walk, and I knew I could navigate with my feet. As I passed by the weed garden, I heard a noise like crunch, crunch, crunch. The driveway was clear of leaves and brush, so the rustling was definitely the sound of something stepping out of the woods and directly into my path. For a half a second, I thought it was an animal, but my stomach formed a knot when I realized that the steps sounded distinctly bipedal. My eyes had been looking at my feet, but shot upwards when I heard the noise. Before me stood a creature. I don't remember seeing its legs, probably because my eyes shot up so fast, and I was so stunned. It stood maybe 6 feet in front of me, and stood about 7 feet tall. When my eyes shot up, I was facing its chest. I had to raise my eyes higher to see its face. When I saw the face, I had the wind kicked completely out of me. The creature was whitish, not glowing, but its skin looked exactly like pale skin under moonlight. Remember, though, the moon has not risen yet. The form was pretty humanoid, but very tall and skinny. It had no clothing. I saw a bare chest, slender arms, and the shape of a head. I don't remember any ears. I remember holding its gaze for a moment, searching for eyes and seeing nothing, no distinguished eyes, face, or mouth, but the face definitely had ridges and contour. I think maybe it did have facial features, but they were so subtle or sunken in that I couldn't make them out. Anyway, the sight of this face knocked the wind out of me. My eyes fell to the ground. They felt forced to the ground. I couldn't bear to look at it. I stood perfectly still while gasping for air for a moment. I wanted to scream, but I had no air. I felt too paralyzed with fear. I took a moment to take a deep inhale and then a deep exhale. I looked at its face again. It still stood motionless, watching me. I then turned on heel and ran back to the community house as fast as I could, screaming the whole way. My friends suggested that perhaps I had come face to face with a person who was scoping out the weed garden to steal from it. This is common here, and the garden was flowering, so it was real stinky, and the locals had definitely noticed. The part I can't answer, though, is why would a robber walk right up to me? I don't know. I consider myself a skeptic, and I think it's possible that my mind was playing tricks on me, but then again, I have never been afraid of the dark. Or anything like that. I told a friend my experience, and he said I should share it. This is probably the strangest experience of my entire life, and to be honest, it haunts me. These days, I am afraid of the dark. Today's second encounter. My friend and I had been out driving pretty late, probably 2 a.m. We had been going at least 70 miles an hour, slowing down because our turn was coming up, so naturally, on this 2-lane road, we were leaning toward the right. Suddenly, we see this tall, lanky, fast enough to avoid the car, having to be on its hind legs. It crossed our headlights coming from right to left like a swoosh, but it was heading our way, and how fast we had been going, it was conscious enough to avoid us. We couldn't describe it, but the silence and realization that my friend and I had seen it suddenly hit. We freaked because the way it happened was so quick, unnatural. We were investigating, deducing everything, but it did not make any sense. It was... we don't even know. We can't put a finger on it. When we had seen this figure, my friend made the exact estimate that it at least was standing 8 feet tall, based on her car's height. This scared us, but brought us to the conclusion of what we had seen. It was real. We wished we had a dash cam, but like any other sighting, we only have our minds. Alright guys, today's first video clip is one that I actually had talked about a while ago. I finally found it. It is some sort of creature. These kids were on a trampoline, and it comes out of the woods. It definitely is not a human. I've watched this video enough times to know that it is not a human being. What is it? I'm not sure. I'm going to leave it up to you guys.
What the heck is that? Oh gosh. What the heck is that, dude? Oh, dude, I think the thing is coming a little bit closer. Oh crap, it just screamed. It just screamed. Oh crap. Dude, it's coming! It's coming! Let's run! 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 It's coming! What the heck is that? Oh gosh. What the heck is that, dude? Oh, dude, I think the thing is coming a little bit closer. Oh crap, it just screamed. It just screamed. Oh crap. Dude, it's coming! It's coming! Let's run! 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 It's coming!
In tonight's third encounter. So, I'm unfamiliar with these things, but I searched up characteristics on Google and came up with crawler, and I'd figured I'd share it. I live in central Michigan in a very large area of dense forest, like maybe 10 square miles or so, with relatively low amounts of houses on it. There's a hunting trail that goes through it that I like to walk. Anyway, I was with 2 buddies, and we were walking it at night. It was maybe 10:30 p.m. We managed to get all the way around it and arrived back at my house. The entire time we were walking, it just had this odd feeling I can't explain. Almost like the feeling you get when you're being watched, but much, much more worse. On our way off the path, we all looked behind us at the same time and saw what looked to be 4 pitch white figures 40 yards behind us, just kind of peering at us. There was 2 in the middle of the trail and 2 on either side. The one on the left side was kind of peering out from the brush, and the 2 in the middle were just staring. None of us could really piece together what we were seeing, until the one on the right sprinted upright from the right to the left side of the tree line almost immediately. We all saw it and started running to my house. I haven't seen it or them since, and I can look down that same trail at night and I don't see anything. I've never heard any strange noises, and when I looked at people's experiences, I have never heard anyone saying a multiple of group. By the way, it wasn't hunting season, and nobody uses these trails beside me and my friends. It's on my property. I'd say the figures were about 5 to 6 feet tall. It's hard to tell at such a distance. But they were all similar size and very lanky. Tonight's fourth encounter. I was just getting in bed for the night. It was 3-something in the morning. I checked on my baby monitor like I normally did because my daughter had been having night terrors. This was not a Wi-Fi monitor. And I saw this creature interacting with my child. She was pulling the covers over her face, and it would lean over her. I'm still not sure if it was sniffing or what, but when she pulled the blanket back, she screamed, and it pushed back away from her. This repeated again quickly as I stared in disbelief. Her dad was next to me, and when I handed him the camera, he confirmed he was seeing the exact same thing, leapt out of bed to go to her room across the hall. As his hand turned the doorknob, it stared at the camera. Night vision made its eyes glow before disappearing. It looked as if it went up into above her closet. She was about 3 years old at the time. We did not drink or do anything that would cause any type of hallucination. Her dad told me he saw it before numerous times as a child, and his brother did as well. They are 9 months apart, different moms, but they are both Cherokee descent. His brother confirmed everything and is now too scared to come to my home because he is afraid he will see it again. They both said they've seen different looking ones, as in they look the same, scrawny, long fingers, no hair, etc., but different features, like humans. We have since learned his mom was into witchcraft. We immediately blessed the home again. It seems any time his mom or his mom's adopted daughter came around, these things were around him and his little brother. Crazy part is we stopped talking to them before 2014, well before this, as we found out they were unstable, bad stuff around these two. This was the year that it happened, that I saw it as well, and it was sniffing my child. Since we blessed the home and cut them off, no more issues, but it still haunts me. Today's second kind of video is what appears to be something peeking around the side of the house. And I'm really not sure what it is. It almost fits with this experience, or the experience that we just heard. It's pretty terrifying.
My wife was hearing things fall over in the backyard while I was at work and went to check, and she caught this on video. WTF is that?
Oh my God.
Guys, WTF is this? My wife was hearing things fall over in the backyard while I was at work and went to check, and she caught this on video. WTF is that?
Oh my God.
Guys, WTF is this?
Today's fifth encounter. I'm an older woman. I'm married and have one daughter who is 11. This happened to both of us at separate times within a 2-week span. First, my experience, my husband and I do not share a room because he snores like a chainsaw and I apparently move way too much. My daughter is autistic and suffers from serious anxiety, and more often than not ends up crawling in bed with me. Yes, this is significant to the experience. Well, one night she wasn't able to even make it to her own room and crashed with me. I woke up after midnight to a knocking on my window. My room is at the back of the house and my backyard is fenced and the gate is blocked because of my two pooches. I thought at the time I was dreaming, but then there was another knock on the window and I heard my daughter's voice outside of my window. "Mommy, can you please open the door? I'm locked out. My sliding door does not lock. We block it using a metal safety rod. My daughter was sound asleep right beside me, so whoever was outside was not my daughter. I chalked it up to a lucid dream and went back to bed." A week later, I came home from my late shift. My daughter was sleeping in her own bed, thankfully. I settle in to fall asleep. A few hours later, my daughter comes into my room and crawls into bed with me and wakes me up saying, "Mommy, why were you knocking on my window and wanting me to come outside?" I was wide awake immediately and sat up. "What do you mean, hon? I have been sleeping for a while." "I heard you say when you knocked on my window, 'Hey, Rabbit,' shortened from Bunny Rabbit, the nickname she's had since birth. Want to come out and play? So I came here to see if you were outside." I did not tell her that I heard a similar thing a week prior. Like I said, not really scary, but extremely weird, especially since I'm the only one that calls her Rabbit. I do live in a town with a very large psychiatric facility, as well as a maximum security prison. We don't have a bus station, so people who are released with no family join our very large homeless population. I want to clarify that it is a creepy encounter with, and I don't know what or who it was, just generally creepy. Today's sixth encounter. I'm 17 now, but I was 9 when this happened. There's a cornfield near my grandparents' house. The land belonged to my grandfather, but he had a deal with a man who planted the corn. We always played hide and seek in the cornfield, but we never went further than 10 to 15 rows in. One night I was outside in my mom's car waiting for everyone else so we could go home. I heard my cousin's voice telling me to play hide and seek with him, so I went to the cornfield. To get to the actual field, you have to cross a small road. I didn't cross the road, but I saw eyes. They were low to the ground and reflecting, so I thought it was a stray cat. This thing held out its hand like it wanted to grab me. The hand was bony and the fingers were very long, human-like. I believe it wanted me to follow it. My mom yelled for me and I ran back to the car. I never told anyone about what I saw. I was afraid my family would think it was another one of my stories since I had an overactive imagination. To this day, I don't know what it was. I haven't seen it since, but I always feel like someone is watching me whenever I go near that field. And tonight's final video of the evening is what appears to be a Sasquatch running in the background. You decide. Alright folks, I hope you all enjoyed tonight's night ending bonus as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. I'd like to thank you all for supporting the channel. It is your support after all that helps the channel to continue to grow and go. And honestly, what gives people a place to share their experiences, ideas, and theories, ridicule and judgment free, just simply treated with the respect that we all deserve. Everyone stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant, keeping an eye on our children, pets, family, and friends. These creatures are real, they are out there, and they are dangerous. Share this information with the people you love and care about, and it may just help save their lives someday. Until next time, never stop asking questions, never stop searching for answers, and God bless.